What's that you say? I can't hear you. I have my headphones on. If you like your music loud like me, then this video is for you. Today, we are going to unbox, set up, and also do an initial review of this cool headphone amplifier by a company called EYTSE. So stick around to the end to see if it really adds that extra volume and clarity. And I will also share a 20% off discount code that the brand sent me for my viewers. So let's head on over to the unboxing station and take a first look. Let's go.
Oh boy, it's Tech Timmy time.
So here we are over at my unboxing station. This device is what's called a DAC, or a digital to analog converter. So this is a little bit of an education for me as well. I figured I would just share what I've learned about this. Basically, it's a device that turns your phone's digital audio, which is essentially ones and zeros, into real sound waves that your headphones can play. Music on your phone or laptop is digital, so just ones and zeros. Your headphone needs an analog sound waves to make music. So a DAC is a translator between the two. The better the DAC, the cleaner and more detailed your sound will be. Excellent! In other words, hooking one of these things up via a wired connection, this is a wired solution, will make your music sound louder and more clear.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
So most phones have DACs built in. Phones and laptops and your other devices have DACs built in, but they're super weak. This should actually improve that dramatically. So this is the EYTSE. I'm gonna butcher the saying the name, guys. I think it's not EYTSE because they're already at EYTSE, right? So it basically replaces the default configuration of your devices with a more studio grade sound for more accurate sound. All right, enough said about that. Box looks well done here. Hi-Fi audio. Got a little branding on the box, which is interesting. And so here we have our Hi-Fi audio. It has this Hi-Fi decoding chip, support for UAC 2.0, independent power amplifier, and a non-destructive wire. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. And then my understanding is this will do 3.5 millimeter at 125 decibels and 4.4 millimeter at 130 decibels, so right in and around the same there. Some of your headphone jacks are going to require 3.5, and if you have really fancy pants headphones, it's going to be 4.4 millimeter. At least that's my hot take on it. Anything I got wrong here, so I'm kind of new to all this audiophile business, so if I get anything wrong, feel free to drop a comment below. It actually helps extend the video's reach when you guys comment, so don't feel like you're insulting me. I appreciate all the comments I get. Frequency response 20 to 80 kHz, and then pedanic range is 160 to 6,000, which is pretty crazy.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about?
Decoding capability and so on and so forth, so upper power. But let's take this guy out of the box and see what we're dealing with here. All right, and I also do want to thank EYTSE, EYTSE,
What you talking about?
for sending this device out. Greatly appreciate it. The opportunity to unbox and test it here. So it looks like it might have a little, nope. So this just slides out after we get the plastic wrap off. And, ooh, all right. All right, so we have a user manual. Looks like we're gonna have some pretty small type for my bad eyesight here, but par for the course for these things, I guess. And then, so product description, it basically has the same specs that I had on the back. So it does have its own control. So we have volume, play and pause, and volume up and down, obviously, and then high-low gain mode switching, which I guess the high gain would be if you really want to crank it up. And then specifications I read, and yeah, so it looks like a standard user manual. Feedback to the brand, just make the type a little bigger. Some of us old guys have a hard time reading that stuff, so. Here's the device itself. So this is where the magic happens here. So this connects wired between your headphones and your device. The device could be your phone, it could be your laptop, and what have you. And then it looks like, so they provided so there's USB-A connector, but I think the default, at least for my iPhone, I know for sure my new iPhone is USB-C to C, so we're gonna use that cable there. And geez, they really did a nice job getting it. I'm gonna have to force it out here because of my large hands. And there we go, and well done. So we have these little protective caps over the USB-C connectors, I like that. And this neat little braided cable in the middle here. So that's nice as well. And then here, so I like the low profile. I like the fact that they thought to do a smaller cord, and the fact that this guy can certainly just fit right in your pocket, which is cool, because if you're already carrying around your headphones and so forth, you're not going to want to carry a large device, and they do make these much larger, which is interesting. So let's get this out. Let's see, just to prove it out here. So that goes in there, and then so here we have our 3.5 and 4.4 millimeter headphone jacks. So for the Beats Studio headphones that I have, my understanding is definitely 3.5 millimeter. So I'm actually can't do a sound test. It's not going to work over YouTube, guys, sadly. But I am going to plug it in, give it a test, and I'll let you guys know what I think in terms of overall quality. And so here's our gain. Looks like it's automatically set to low, and if we crank it up, that will take it to high. All right, so I'm filming with my iPhone. My understanding is that this will require a USB-C connection into your iPhone. It does not work with the old Apple Lightning connector. So if you have an older phone, it's not going to work. But so this guy right here is what you would plug in to the end of your phone. I'm filming with my iPhone 16 Pro Max right now, and my older iPhones all have Lightning ports. So I pulled out my laptop to do a sound test using that. So basically, similar to the iPhone, we're going to want to stick this into my USB-C, my open USB-C port on my laptop, or if I didn't have USB-C, I could stick it into a USB Type A port on the laptop. That'll work just fine. What will not work is a Lightning connector. And also, that's fine. So this is a little bit of a newer design here, and I think that's cool. And here, I'm actually going to take this and plug it right into my open. Let's just pull this up so you guys can see. Let it flying off the table. That's going to go into my USB Type-C connector. And now I can take my 3.5 millimeter audio jack and insert it into this. Is it this one? Yep. That fits nice and snugly in there into the 3.5 millimeter input. And then this will go into, in a wired fashion, will go into my Beats headphones just like that. Okay, so when I connect it into my Windows laptop, just want to show you guys, it wants us to select this KMHA05. Your number may be different, but you'll see something that says headphones with a number similar to that one, and you're going to want to select that as your output device or the device where you choose to play your sound. That is imperative in order to get this to work. I'm going to take a quick listen, and I'm going to come back and give you my thoughts. Again, absolutely silly to try and do any type of an audio test over YouTube because you're only going to get what's coming out of your computer speaker and or your TV, your phone, what have you. All right, so I'm going to go away, do a little bit of a test, and I'll come back and give you my impressions. All right, so here's the verdict. I tested this both on my iPhone 16 Pro Max and also my Toshiba laptop, and I did notice a considerable volume boost. In addition, the clarity did seem overall, the sound clarity did seem overall a little bit better as well. I tested this listening to hip hop, some techno, even some classical jazz and rock. And the results were the same across the board. It is significantly louder. In fact, I don't think I'll actually go back to listening to my wireless headphones again for quite a while. So who is this for? So it's for anyone who does a lot of listening, particularly in an environment that has background noise. Like I like to walk the beach myself, and even with the noise cancellation, sometimes I can actually hear the music's just not loud enough for me. And this will solve that 100%. The other thing I think where it will help is if you travel a lot and you're on a flight and you're listening to an in-flight movie and you just can't get the volume high enough, this will also help with that considerably. So anyhow, yeah, I would say, like I said at the start of the video, if you're liking music loud, this thing is definitely worth a look. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have a coupon code from the brand. I'll leave that down in the video description. And if you got any value from this video, if you just wouldn't mind smashing that like button, helps out the channel a lot. And hope to see you in the next one. And oh yeah, YouTube thinks you might like one of these other tech videos that I did up on screen. So hope you'll check that out and hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.
Good night, Party on!
Party on, Wayne!
Party on, Garth. It's Wayne's World! Wayne's World!